July 2nd. It's about 10 days after the last frost date, and I got the squashes in and they're sprouting. Here's a little stand of Jerusalem artichoke that went in before that. You can see the shard is coming up nice. That goes in early in June while it's still freezing at night. Some collard greens are in. I got some beans coming up here. Just notice how it's all mixed. Really nice apple tree with some McIntosh apples on it in front of the chicken house. Montmorency tart cherry right here. Here's a volunteer lettuce. It's 4 feet high. Gorgeous. Just take some of this off the bottom here. Collar the lettuce. And we can have dinner or make the chickens happy. Either way, that's a biodynamic farm where everything is being recycled in a cycle. They're gonna poop, it's gonna go back down and make more lettuce. We have some red raspberry coming out for the first time this year. I got some peppers put in today. And you can see the shards are doing really nice over here. They're huge. Here's my hand for scale. And they're just getting started. They'll be about 2 feet, 3 feet high when they're done. Shard, and we harvest as we go. We take leaves around to sell at the market. A lot of these leaves are unsaleable. If it doesn't look that pretty, this has a few holes in it, we will eat that one. Whereas someone at the market gets this leaf, which is perfect. The reason we don't have any bugs here is because we've got a really good pest management system. It's taken over in the last few years. So no bugs on collards, shard whatsoever. Here's a lavage I put in, not doing so well. These are ageratum. It's a bell pepper. Rocket collards. 2 more bell peppers. Rhubarb. A red cabbage. I have some onions around a freshly sprouting apricot tree that's 3 years old. Manchurian apricot, which is native to high mountains, grown by the Hopi. Some nice looking shards, parsley in there. Here's a really interesting sorghum I sourced from Baker Creek Heirloom seeds. It comes from Africa. It's for the high desert, which is where we are, and it's a huge yield sorghum. So we're gonna see if we can make pancakes. I probably, in this experimental patch, we get 50. We usually do 50 of something to see how it does. I have this interplanted with onions on either side, so we'll get something out of this. Definitely gonna get sorghum, which will probably be 5 feet high here with seeds and onions on both sides. Now I planted the onions on both sides because this is full sun and this is more of a shade. Sun comes up here, sets over here. So we're gonna see how this sorghum does. I'm really stoked to see how this is. Very ancient variety from the 1800s, being saved over there in Africa, drought resistant. I got it in amazing soil, and so we'll see how it happens. Here we have a really warm weather bean emerging, which is good news. These probably won't freeze. I've got some snap peas everywhere. We grow them everywhere, just wherever there's a fence, we put them in. This is a variety of sweet corn from the Hopi called Midnight Snack. It's a black corn that's sweet in the first 70 days, then becomes dent corn. As you can see, our corn is definitely knee-high by the 4th of July. And that's almost impossible to do in this growing region. But this variety is cold resistant, and look at it. Another red cabbage. I've got some bleeding heart amaranth down here. They're microscopic, but they'll be huge and produce pounds and pounds of seeds. Some more squash on hills. I got a pocket gopher eating them. There's one missing. I didn't cage these, so hopefully they won't get to these. We got over 20 varieties of squash grown on Hugel hills everywhere. And It's a really good drought-resistant flower. Gosh, the name is escaping me. It's not Gaillardia. It's a local native. Let me think on that. Here we have some permaculture triads. This is a native plum tree, a local plum, probably 3 years old, and a Nanking cherry, and 3 Nanking cherries close together. These form a hedge, so there'll be a big tree and a hedge when this matures. Next to the hedge, we'll have an amelanchier. Here, this is a serviceberry, another berry producer. So we have cherries and berries, another plum. Boom! Some hidden medicine. In with the plum is a spruce and another cherry. Now these are supposed to grow tight together to form shade so that other medicinals like here, like the purple coneflower echinacea, can come up and grow. And then you plant annuals with it. So these are developing triads that are doing very well in the high mountains of the southwest. Native plum, Nanking cherry, and serviceberry. And that's the Oppenheimer Ranch triad. Here we have another serviceberry doing really good. Here's a crazy type of collard. Another plum, a lovage, which is a perennial, which can be substituted for celery. Oh, and look, the serviceberry, our first berries on the serviceberry ever. So they mimic blueberries in their flavor, shape, size. You see them, kids? Awesome. Usually these serviceberries grow native around here in the shade, and they get shaded out by the upper stories and you don't get any berries. So by bringing them out here into the sunlight, you can increase the yield, get food, antioxidants, and be self-sufficient, which is just awesome. Come check out the most impressive stand of corn we have. Another Hopi Indian variety. This one is called Atomic Orange, also available at Baker Creek. This is a flaming orange variety of sweet corn that turns into dent corn. It's a very short grow cycle, 75 days. And it is the most impressive corn I have ever planted here in all the years we've been here. Probably planted 20 varieties, and I think we're gonna go big with this when we do some larger patches for stockpiling. I have 100 ears in here close together. It's the way the natives used to plant it, in small clumps. So you see here there's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 together, and then some space, a couple more. This is to create shade, retain moisture, which there wasn't a lot of. We're gonna see how it does at this spacing, which is about 6 inches apart, a little closer than normal corn would be. But still, you can see very vigorous and thick, so not worried about the spacing currently. After these come up, what I then did is I planted the second sister. This is a 3-sister planting. The first sister is in. The second sister is going to be a bush bean, not a climbing bean. I find the climbing beans choke out the corn a lot. So we're just doing 2 sisters here, corn and bush bean. And it's a purple Anasazi variety. We're going to check it out when it's coming up. This is a purple orak, which is also called purple mountain spinach. It looks just like spinach. It's not spinach though. It self-seeds. You can see the seed heads are massive, almost mature, ready to seed save and plant 100,000 purple mountain spinaches as soon as we do that. I'll also be able to sell these seeds at the market because everyone knows what this is and they all want it. It's an annual that self-seeds. See that? Delicious. Yep. So there's an update on the newly final planting, and we're going to be seeing how everything does this year. There's a nice sunflower, gorgeous chard. Chard is amazing here, always is. We have the best chard at the market. People love it. And it just tastes so good. Another really nice purple orak I'll show you. And we'll do some more of the permaculture plantings tomorrow, and some other, I'll show you some of the other things we're doing, as well as Cheryl Ann Kammerer's Kids Experiment. The seeds are sprouting, kids. Do you hear that, Dylan and Jackson? Be safe, everybody. We love you.